Lies you've been told. 1. The system is built to help you. Bullshit. The system is built to fuck you over. It's a money-making machine for the rich, and you're just the product. You're not part of the plan. You're the sucker who's paying for it. 2. Hard work always pays off. Yeah, right. You bust your ass while the rich laugh in their ivory towers. Hard work doesn't mean shit when the game's rigged, and you're the one who gets screwed. 3. The news tells you the truth. What a joke. The news isn't there to inform you, it's there to control you. They feed you bullshit so you stay distracted and ignorant, too busy to see the real shit happening. 4. Your vote matters. Vote? Fuck that. It's all a dog and pony show. They let you pick which puppet will screw you over next, but the real power's behind the curtain, laughing at your dumb ass. 5. Debt is normal. Debt is fucking slavery. They want you drowning in it, so you're too busy worrying about how to survive to ever challenge their bullshit system. 6. Obey the law and you'll be fine. The law? The law is a fucking joke. It's just a tool to keep you in line while the rich and powerful do whatever the fuck they want. 7. You're free. Free? Are you fucking kidding me? Try saying the wrong thing, try skipping a tax payment, or try living without their permission. You're not free. You're just too brainwashed to see the chains.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Mekakodash. Also, I would like to give double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And today I'm going to be doing this lesson on, this is not our place of rest, man. As you can see in the clip, we're basically, brought up, indoctrinated into believing that, Esau cares about us, the so-called white man, and, the people who are in power, specifically, the government, right? And, I'm going to bring out the scripture. This is the book of Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction." So, we were born into this thing believing this man is trying to help us, but, and he'll, Esau will offer you food stamps, offer you stimulus checks, offer you, how do I say it? He'll offer you just money. He'll offer you that shot, if you know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, everything this man does comes back to benefit him. And we're still in captivity. America, you ain't gonna have nothing good in America. Even if you make a bunch of money, even if you make a bunch of, get a bunch of bitches, 'cause on this side, man, everything is polluted, The scriptures say, the whole world, drink the wine of her fornication. All right, let's bring that up. We got the book of Revelation 18:3, and it says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." So, even if you're in, specifically in America, Babylon, everything gets corrupted. But even if you go outside of Babylon, people are still taking on the customs of, America, the great whore, Babylon the Great, This is why this place needs to be destroyed. Even me, I see a bunch of people around me celebrating, partying, going to concerts, going to bars, Now, granted, some you can do those things or whatever, but you realize, is that really all this place has to offer? Because the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, He's gonna give us a lot more than that. We're only here for a short period of time, and this place is complete wickedness, right? Scriptures say the Lord's, eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, right? So the Lord sees everything. The Lord sees all the wickedness that's going on. Not to mention people that are the political figures that are in power. He's once they close those doors shut, they're doing things that you wouldn't even imagine. That's why it's just important. We're not supposed to put our trust in man. These fucking people. You really think these people are gonna come fucking save you? They're gonna come fucking support you, give you financial aid. And this is what these people do. They'll give you some financial aid. Get you on. You might be getting paid a little bit more at work. That's really how they get you. You might make some money from the stock market or whatever. The economy might be good, but it's destined. At the end of the day, man, this man, he's gonna find one way or another to lead people to take the MOTB, and that's why you got to be very grateful and thankful that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua revealed this to you. The mark of the beast, that being the RFID microchip, which is which is entered at the right hand or the forehead, right? Because a lot of people are walking around, they don't even know, they have no idea what the mark of the beast is. They don't know that there's just going to be a digital ID, and it's going to be mandatory. They don't know about Jacob's trouble. They don't know about the end of the world. They don't know about the economy collapsing. You got motherfuckers saying, we're gonna build a giant, we're gonna build a giant business together. We're gonna get all these houses. You can't even speak about that, right? Because we don't know when we don't know when, if we're gonna even be alive, right? I'm gonna bring this out. It's the book of James 4:14. It says, "Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away." And that's exactly what this is. We're basically this is just a whole test. To see if we're gonna be able to endure until the end. Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we're gonna be with him for eternity. This place is fucking nothing. And the thing is, there's garbage on the floor. These women are fucking completely out of order. They have completely unrealistic standards. You got something like 80% of women get with only 20% of men, and they're hypergamous. So even if they get with you, they're always speaking to somebody else. You best believe, right? Not to mention they got we're in a society now where 6, 7, 8, 9 bodies, and I'm referring to how many men you slept with, is considered low. It's considered low. But in an ancient world, man, you would be considered a complete harlot. You'd be put to death. You were doing that, man. You would be considered like a spittle. Like the dung. But yeah, you would be put to death, man. That's why Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, has to come back, right? Because you got these women out here committing adultery. Doing all this wickedness, hopping from one man to another, and so you can't even build up on this side, right? And even if you make money, which all the brothers, you have to find a way to sustain yourself financially, but a lot of the times you gotta cut corners. I'm speaking from personal experience. A lot of the ways people make money, you gotta cut a lot of corners, and the higher you get up, especially for these jakes, the higher you get up, the more and more you gotta serve Esau, basically. You know, that's why all these rappers, celebrities, they go to like these parties and do all these rituals with people, dressed in all white. Because they sucking off Esau, man. The more money you make, chances are you got to do some wicked fucking shit. Unless the Lord's dealing with you and he's giving you that blessing, that gift, right on this side. And I'm gonna bring this out. This is the book of Isaiah 8, and it says, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak it not according to His word, it is because there is no light in them." So you got a lot of, and I'm speaking about specifically these pastors, these people that made it up. They had to do some wicked shit most of the time, and they out here telling people, God is gonna give you money, God is gonna give you blessings. All you gotta do is pay me. All you gotta do is give me, give me your money. And they don't speak according to this word. They're not speaking about prophecy. You don't see a 2/3 speaking about prophecy. You don't see these, fucking pastors speaking about prophecy. You don't hear them speak in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Or, not to eat pork. To keep keep the holy days to the best of our abilities. You don't see him talking about that. So, this whole place, man, we're not even supposed to, we don't even have everything to a T, and this is why, until Yahweh Hashem Yahushai come back, this place is not our place of rest, man. This place, we only here for a small amount of time. It's lucky, a cat in the background. But this whole place, man, it's trash. It's terrible. There's garbage on the floor. The women are wicked. People are doing abortions. People are committing sodomy. But in the kingdom, that's just not going to be tolerated. That's just not going to be allowed. Everybody can be correct. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has something in store for the elect. He has something great, something way, way better than his fucking earthly ass place. And you're seeing Esau's his kingdom getting taken away from him slowly. Starting with the house of Judah on down. The 12 tribes, being the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and the Israelite foreigner, who will look like the other nations. We seeing that transference of the kingdom. Esau is getting his woman taken away from him. No woman want to be with the so-called white man anymore. And I'm talking about these fucking Edomite devils. Cause we're slowly getting into the kingdom, man. With the transference is coming, where Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is gonna set his people up, for Isaiah 4:1. He's gonna start sending the men of the Lord up. Not just some regular fucking bloke. The men of the Lord are gonna have it, because the scriptures say those who would be considered at least now will be considered great then, roughly paraphrasing, right? So the Heavenly Father, he got something in store for us, but we just gotta be patient, and endure unto the end, right? This place is not our place of rest. This place is a wicked place. You don't want to be here for 70 years, man. You don't want to be here for 80, 90 years. You don't want to live a long life, The scriptures talk about, matter of fact, I'm going to pull this out. There's a book of Ecclesiasticus 30 and 17. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. And yeah, man, a lot of us, including myself, we have ailments, problems. I suffer from a lot of insomnia, fucking, I know a lot of brothers got, the, sickness, ED, right? They got, heart problems. So, you don't even want to be here and to live like that, man, that's fucking hell. To live every day, you got some fucking problem, you got some health problems, man, fuck that. Because in the kingdom, we ain't gonna have any of that. We're gonna be transformed into our new bodies. We're gonna be 8 feet tall. We're gonna have, Pringles can full of baby juice, if you know what I mean. We're gonna have our melanin back, and that's a great thing, man, because we're not gonna be getting sick. We're not gonna get fucking, we're not gonna be having problems every day. Can't even breathe through your fucking nose. And you telling me this is our place of rest, man? This ain't no fucking place of rest. People want to, you people think, you're going to have some land in America, have a nice mansion. Nah, fuck that, man. Because America is going to be doomed to destruction via the nuclear missile. You people that scoff and mock, you laugh. But you're going to be crying out to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai when this shit happens, when this shit goes down. And that's why the scriptures talk about a man will be seen as a resting place, right? A hiding place. He's going to be more valuable than the golden wedge of Ophir, right? And that's a great thing. These people that scoffed at us, mocked at us, man, we're gonna be like, I told you so, in a humble way. We ain't not gonna even have to tell them that. But in a spiritual way, of course, we're going to be able to, they're going to be able to see, well, damn, I should have listened to those guys. But, you didn't you chose to just ignore, scoff, and mock. So that was going to be your judgment, right? Well, yeah, man, that's all that I got. I want to end off right here, hopefully this was edifying, I want to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the Lord elect, the full elect, and 1/3. It's Brother Barak. I want to say Shalom.